Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing another installment in the series of reviewing the MCU. And that's part number 12, and we're doing Captain America Civil War or Captain America 3. This movie released in 2016. So yeah, and it marks the beginning of Phase 3. So we're finally in Phase 3 now. As I'm going to continue on reviewing this, and yeah, we're in Phase 3. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, Captain America Civil War. Definitely a really interesting movie. On a side note here, I just realized in this picture, I don't know why this picture doesn't include Spider-Man and also Ant-Man. I find it kind of weird, but I mean, that's whatever. Um, yeah, anyways, continue on here. So the way I like to do these is essentially I start off with my initial reaction, followed by the bad, the good, and then my final thoughts or score. So, for my initial reaction, honestly, I think this is a really good movie. Top tier MCU, in my opinion. Easy top 5. I think this movie's just really good. It doesn't have many bads. I mean, it's like very good. Really good in the MCU. One of the better movies in the MCU. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the initial reaction. Now moving on forward to the bad. Now in terms of the bad, I mean, there's not even too much in the bad. I mean, I just said this movie is a great movie. Again, there's not too much of the bad. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's maybe a few things I would tweak, but I mean that's pretty much it though. Like it's a really solid movie, without too many bads. So firstly, the first thing I want to say, is just it just revolves around the plot or the writing ish. Uh, Personally, as much as I like this head to head superhero thing, I felt like there was no real like something to keep you on the edge of your seat. There was no real like repercussions is the right word, I guess you could say. Um, and essentially what I mean by that is like throughout this movie, it's like these guys are just fighting each other, but they're not gonna die, or they're not gonna die or anything. Like in my opinion, if you've ever read the Civil War comics, when a character dies in that, it made it so it elevated the story a lot more. Now I'm not saying kill off a character, but I mean it would have been interesting, perhaps maybe if a character perhaps died. I'm not saying on any teams, but I would say something like something to really boost it up a little bit. And I'm not saying oh kill off Falcon or something or kill off Hawkeye or Vision or something like that. I'm just saying honestly just it felt like that during the certain times. But I mean obviously we had different fear factor moments, especially when Rhodey was shot down like that. I mean obviously a lot of people thought what the heck is gonna happen? Like he could die from this. So I mean that was the only real thing, and then he ended up getting severely injured. But I mean like yeah, and other than that, there wasn't too much like go shoot like I'm on the edge of seat like edge of my seat like who's gonna die, the kind of thing. So there was that I felt was kind of with that being said. Now another thing, this is completely optional. This is not like something severely. I just wish like perhaps we could have seen these other Winter Soldiers in action. I thought it could have been like actually a little interesting. Maybe perhaps if we saw some of those soldiers in action, and maybe perhaps in that end battle, uh, Tony, Captain America, and Bucky perhaps like formed this trio and they fought these Winter Soldiers off, and then we get this thing. So like we see, for example, they're all working together, and then the mood changes immediately when Zemo shows that Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents. So I mean, that's the way I kind of look at that. That being said, that's the kind of way I kind of look at it. Is maybe they could have done something like that, even though. it probably have loose ends though. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So I understand why they didn't, and it could have maybe taken away from the scene. But I mean that could have been an interesting tweak there. But I mean it's not really, you don't really need it too much. Um. So yeah, that's like really it for the bad. I mean, yeah, that's really it for the bad. Now in terms of the good, I thought the good. I thought the writing was pretty good. I thought the reasoning was completely justifiable onto these different teams. I also thought it made perfect sense into why they're fighting each other and how they tied in a villain, and it's not just straight up Iron Man versus Captain America for no reason. So I thought that was really interesting, and the villain behind it, Zemo, was actually well put. I thought it was really interesting to kind of see the fact that Zemo was still this villain who didn't even like throw a punch or anything. He literally was like a mastermind. So I thought the writing in terms of these characters was really good. Uh, yeah, you could also tell this was written with a lot of like heart and stuff. I thought it was written really well. I really liked the chemistry in terms of Robert Downey Jr. versus Chris Evans or Captain America versus Iron Man. Um, so that was good chemistry to essentially with the two of them fighting each other. I did like that. And let's also just say this: it was awesome. The action sequence and these fights were really cool. It was awesome to kind of see superheroes versus superheroes. I thought it was really cool. Like I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting to kind of see that happen. Superheroes versus superheroes. That was really interesting. So yeah, continuing on here. In terms of CGI and stuff, I thought the CGI was really good, as well as like the costumes and suits. They were really good. I liked the Iron Man suit, of course. War Machine got that I think his suit got repainted since the last one we saw him in, which is Age of Ultron. But yeah, the suit was good. I really like this Captain America suit. I think it looks really good. Uh, Black Panther suit's just really cool too. Uh, yeah. Another thing I did like as well was the introduction of these new characters. Uh, this was like a comedy of movie as well. Uh, to like add in like a crossover kind of thing. As this did introduce about three new characters who we hadn't seen really in the with the Avengers. Technically now, um, five technically because like War Machine and Falcon never really were with them for too long. I mean, they did. War Machine did help out in the end of Avengers 2, but I mean, Falcon never really fought with them or anything. So it kind of like introduced him to the Avengers as well. But I mean, it also tied in Ant Man now, so that's cool. As well as we got our introduction to Black Panther and Spider Man, which is really cool. I remember back in 2016 watching this movie on the big screen. I remember just seeing Black Panther and Spider Man and just being like, "Wow, that's really cool." Um, I thought I couldn't think of another way to introduce them into the MCU. Maybe perhaps Spider Man get his own movie before first, but I mean, this was for the circumstances. I thought it was really good in terms of introduction and everything. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that was really good with that being said as well. In terms of the acting, I thought the acting was really good. I really enjoyed the acting. Nobody here really made me like cringe or anything, so that was good to note and everything. So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the good. Now, in terms of my final thoughts, honestly, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really, really good. It's one of the better MCU movies. Not, I would say best. It's easily top five, I would say, depending on the day. But always top 10. Always top 10. But anyways, that's pretty much it though. In terms of my original score, or sorry, not original score, sorry. My score for the movie, I'd honestly give it a good 9.5 out of 10. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.